Now, today we're looking at type fire, uh, elements of fire, and maybe later on we shall be looking at classes of fire and the fire extinguishers. So first of all, we need to understand what is fire, and it's just as simple as anything that can result from a reaction, a chemical reaction of fuel, these three elements, fuel, oxygen, and heat. That chemical reaction is called combustion. So this one is produced as a result of this reaction. And then in this process of combustion, there's something that is produced that is called heat. So this heat is the energy. This is felt, and feel it. That's why when you get in contact with that heat, you will feel the pain because of the burning nature of that heat. So, elements of fire. For fire to exist, what do we need? Fire can only exist when you have these three elements combined in equal proportion. So we have fuel, heat, and oxygen. So these things that come up, and the combination, anything that can be combined to come up with fire is what we call the elements of fire. So we have three major elements of fire, which are fuel, heat, and oxygen. So these three elements combine to form a fire triangle. The three, 1, 2, 3. Fuel, heat, oxygen combine to form a fire triangle, as you can see down here. Fuel there, oxygen. What is fuel? Anything that can burn. Anything that can burn. Heat, a production as a result of that reaction or that chemical reaction up there. So, and then we have oxygen, the gas that now supports burning. I talked about the fire triangle, this one. So what is a fire triangle? A fire triangle is a simple model, simple, just like this, showing what? Showing the necessary ingredients of fire. A simple model showing the necessary ingredients for fire. That is what we call the fire triangle. It will show you what we need. Fire, for you to have fire, what do you need? You need fuel, you need oxygen, and you need heat to form a fire triangle. Now, I said, talked about fire, fuel. So any material that can burn, that is fuel. Name it, pepper, whatever, vegetation, any other thing. Now, you can only put out fire if you disconnect anything. If disconnect the fire triangle, oxygen, fuel, and then heat. If you remove any, you have destroyed this. You are in the process of putting out that fire. So we can choose to start by removing the fuel. So how do you remove a fuel? In case of, for example, a bush fire. So if the fire has started from point A of this bush, let's say this is our bush. So this from this position A heading to position B. At the middle here, we can decide to cut this vegetation around there so that we remove the fuel around there. So when this fire will burn, if it reaches here, it will not find fuel to continue burning. That is the end of that. So we can do that maybe in case of bush fires. Heat, I've said, is that energy that you feel, the energy, the felt energy, that is heat. And then how do we deal with the heat? We can remove it from this triangle by maybe pouring water. If it is fire, small fires like burning pepper, burning cloth, all those things. Or we can use wet chemical extinguisher if it is somehow bigger. If the fire is somehow bigger, you can use a chemical fire extinguisher. And then we have the source of heat. Source of heat means what? Anything responsible for igniting or starting the fire. For example, a burning matchstick. A burning matchstick can be a source of heat. A source of heat. So anything that is responsible for starting fire, that is a source of heat. Oxygen. In the fire triangle, we have oxygen. And so this this is a gas that supports combustion. An increase in oxygen means what? The heating or the burning will continue. The rate of burning will go up and increase. So how do we deal with this? We can use what we call a fire blanket. Cover whatever it's burning, cover it with the fire blanket. Or use carbon dioxide, fire extinguisher that is carrying carbon dioxide, or foam fire extinguisher, or dry powder. You have another fire extinguisher called what? Dry or powder. Dry chemical or powder fire extinguisher. So this one can be used to remove oxygen from the triangle. When you do that, the fire, you will have dealt with the fire appropriately. Now, something else I'm leaving here is that when you do that, you will be also helping this one. You'll be preventing the fire from spreading to the nearby fuels. This one can also be done by removing the fuel, this one. For example, in a house, if materials in the house are burning and then you just leave them and go shouting outside, it may not really help. The first step you should do is that look at the position where the fire started. Are there any materials that can sustain the burning? Are there any material, any fuel that is available there? Fuel is anything that can burn. So anything that's around that fire, remove, disconnect. That one will be helping than running out and calling people. Just start it there first before you run out. Remove the fuel and if possible, disconnect the fire triangle. Now, I think that's clear about the fire triangle and the elements of fire and so on. So next, we are going straight away to types or classes of fire. Now this one may be new to some of us. I know from childhood, maybe we just know one type of fire used for cooking. Now you have types of fire. So we have class A or type A. We have type B or class B, class C, class D, class E. Initially it was known as class E, but the name has changed to electrical fires. Electrical fires. So when you hear about electrical fires, is in this class E fires. Then you have class K or class F fires. Starting with class A. Class A fires, what are they? This is fire that's as a result of ordinary materials burning. Ordinary materials such as what? Such as wood. Somebody's cooking at home using firewood. That is ordinary fire. Paper, somebody, maybe you go out there and start burning some paper. That is ordinary fire. Plastics, textile, like the clothes, all those things. Those ones are under this class A fires, from ordinary materials, such as the ones we have mentioned there. How do we control this type of fire? Reducing heat, and I've talked about how we can reduce heat. Maybe in the next one, as we talk about fire extinguishers, we shall look at that. We can also reduce this heat by pouring water, cutting supply of fuel, as I have explained. In case of bushfire, what do? You cut. If the fire started from this end to the other end, now you cut the vegetation at the middle there. You will have disconnected the two. Denying the fire oxygen. How do you do that? Fire blanket or sand. You can also use sand or fire blanket. Class B fires. Class B fires are fires that are resulting from flammable. Flammable means anything that can catch fire easily. Flammable or combustible liquids. We have those liquids that if they come into contact with the fire, then you have a problem. Like a liquid called turpentine. I know some of us don't know what this is. Turpentine, for those people who know what painting is, when you want to paint, when you buy paint, and before you paint it, you must mix it with a certain liquid called turpentine. This one is a highly flammable liquid, together with petrol, ethanol, engine oil, diesel, kerosene. This one is also known as paraffin, or in local language they call it mafuta taa. Mafuta taa, this one, kerosene. Yes. That one will result into what? Class B fires. How do you control class B fires? Deny them oxygen using fire blanket or using sand in case the fire is small. In case the fire is small, we can use that. And then also we can use carbon dioxide or foam fire extinguishers if the fire is big. Class C fires. This fire results from what? Flammable gases. Class B was flammable liquids. Class C is now flammable gases like cooking gas, like the one in Embakasi, the one that caused a lot of problem in Embakasi. Cooking gas, butane, propane, methane, or methane gas, and then hydrogen gas. These ones are highly flammable gases, highly flammable. So when you have these gases, they will bring the result into these class C fires. How do we deal with this fire that is caused by a highly flammable gas like cooking gas, butane, propane, methane, and hydrogen? How do we deal with that? Control measure: denying oxygen again. Remember the fire triangle, oxygen is one of the elements. So once you deny oxygen, you are in the process of putting out that fire. Or using foam fire extinguisher, using carbon dioxide fire extinguisher, or chemical powder fire extinguishers. This one will deal with class C fires. Okay, I think now we can go to class D. Class D fires. After class C, these things are very simple. Class A, class B, class C, class D. Class D fires, this one results from flammable metals. Remember, we have said class A, class B, class C. Class B, flammable liquids. Class C, flammable gases, flammable liquids, flammable gases, ordinary materials such as clothes, papers, and so on. Now moving on to class D, flammable metals. Flammable metals such as what? Sodium, potassium, magnesium, and titanium. These ones, I don't think if there is someone who is using these metals at home. Maybe if you are a mechanic or something. So that's why you're saying this fire is not commonly at home. Not commonly at home. You may find these fires maybe mostly in laboratories. Control measure. How do you control this type of fire? Reducing the amount of heat. Remember the fire triangle. Heat is one of the elements. So what do? We remove heat by using dry powder fire extinguishers. So when we remove heat, then the fire triangle is affected, so there is no fire there. Class E fires, this one are fires that result from electrical. Remember, I have told you this one is also called electrical fires. Electrical fires result from electrical faults from live circuits. How do we control electrical fires? We can use dry powder fire extinguisher or carbon dioxide fire extinguishers. But before you do that, you should switch off the main switch. Switch off the main switch before extinguishing such kind of fire. Moving on, class K or F fires. Some of you like cooking, hello. Yes, this is now yours. Take care of this. These class K or F fires, they result from vegetable oils. That's why they are mostly found in kitchen manenos, upper. So hot cooking oil in pans or deep fryers, that one will bring out this class K or F fires if care is not taken. Control: using wet chemical fire extinguisher. Remember, oil and water do not mix. They are not friends. So if you try putting out this fire using water, you are in danger. You are in danger. Note, flammable, I think I've explained that, something that can catch fire easily. That's why I talk about flammable liquids, flammable gases. They can catch fire easily as compared to other gases or other materials. Never use water to put out class what? Class B, C, D, E, and K fires. So water is only used to put out fires under which class? Class A only. Most common classes of fire in schools, places like schools, offices, are A and B. A and B, and so on and so on. So that one, I think, brings us to the end of this video. Remember, we have talked about class A, caused by ordinary materials; class B, flammable liquids; class C, flammable gases; class D, flammable metals; ordinary materials, flammable liquids, flammable gases, flammable metals; and then class E, even from the name, electrical fires; class K, vegetable oil or fires in the kitchen. And then you have the note there, please don't use the method used here, like water, to put out fires in this category. You'll have problems in that case. So that one is the end of that video. So let's in the next one I will be talking about types of fire extinguishers. See you there.